Welcome back to the channel, you guys. Welcome back to Ironclad RC. I'm Big B. So we got the TFL Ariane on the block, okay? It's a 51-inch mono, twin motor, mono with arson drives. I call them arson drives. Arson. I can't say it. So yeah, this boat actually has some damage. One of my viewers sent it to me. Okay, so today we're going to be working on the bottom. I'm going to take care of the top later on, but I've already done a few, but this is basically what we're going to be fixing in this video. See those guys right there? Okay, we're gonna dig it out and fill it and then sand it, and basically kind of blueprint the bottom while we're doing it, you know. So stick around, Big B with Ironclad. All right, so I've already got a jump start on this side. Okay, I filled this one here, and one here. All right. So I got it pretty flat, okay. I could, at this point, I could take the compound and wax, buff this out, and we could actually get it shiny, just like this. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to lightly blueprint the bottom, okay. Lightly blueprint it, so the whole bottom is basically a matte color, okay. So check this out. So glossy finish. I'm rubbing my hand across it. You guys see that? I'm gonna go the same speed. You see how slick a slightly roughed up bottom is? Watch this. I can't even like try to get over on you. I mean, this is just how it is. It's crazy, right? So the whole bottom's gonna be just like this, a dull color. You know, we'll kind of go over the streaks lightly so it all kind of matches. Really all we need to do really is like this section right here, you know, like really from here to the keel. Okay, so I got it kind of zoomed in here. You guys can see, the outline of these spider webs. You could feel it, you know. There's a couple little, you could feel, like especially that crack right there. You could feel that, you know. These are small ones. I'm kind of debating on whether or not to do these, but I almost want to just go ahead and get them while I'm at it, you know. This is going to be a lot of work over here because there's a bunch of small ones, and it's almost like, do you do it? Do you go ahead and freaking do it? Take the time and do it, or do you leave them, you know? But I'm afraid when water's running across it over time, eventually, with the you know, jarring and impact of the hull at 70-80 mile an hour, I'm afraid water's going to catch it. You know, it's going to pop up, and then we'll have to repair it later on. So almost might as well go ahead and do it now type deal, you know. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna go right in the middle, and I'm gonna try to pick out any of this loose epoxy, you know. Gonna pick out any loose epoxy. Man, I almost don't even want to do these. Too late now. And then we're going to basically grind out the spider webbed part. Tape it off and fill it with epoxy, and then finalize it, finish it, you know. Alright, so I got them all picked out and cleaned up here. Alright, now I'm going to clean it up real good, and we're going to tape it off and fill all these little holes that I made in the hull. It looks bad, but I feel better about it. You know, I went ahead and did some of the smaller ones. You know, yeah, I just didn't want to freaking have to do this again, you know. So I went ahead and did it, trying to do it the right way, you know. This side over here, I went ahead and hit it with my sanding block, kind of blueprinting it. You could see we got some high spot here, you know. So I'm glad I'm doing it. I was gonna leave it, but I was like, you know what, let's go ahead and make this thing a fast boat, you know. Let's make a fast boat. So that's what we're gonna freaking do, boy. Let's go. All right, well, I got them grinded, okay, got them prepped up, got them cleaned up. I'm touching it, so I need to re-clean it. All right, and I'm gonna basically fill it with this VENOM carbon epoxy. It's like a laminating epoxy, basically same epoxy I use here, and basically fill it to the tape line, you know, overfill it so I don't have to go in there and get any low spots, you know, and then we'll sand it. What would you have done if you had this boat? Would you have repaired the cracks, or would you have left the cracks and just run it? I could have just run it. You know, I could have run it. But I figure we'll fill the holes. We ain't got to worry about it ever again. And we can blueprint the bottom of the boat at the same time. So I got that laminating resin. I went ahead and cleaned it up again. Make sure there wasn't any dust in there, because you'll see it needs to be super duper clean. When you lay it, don't just pour it in there. You know, you want your brush, move it around in there. You know, move it around so it gets down in every little nook and cranny in your repair area. Make sure it's kind of roughed up. You don't want it to be super smooth. And then overfill it, because this stuff, in a way, it kind of shrinks. And I actually have my boat, well, let me zoom you out. I got my boat level. It's level, you know what I'm saying? Like the area I'm working on is level, so it don't like sag. Actually, this needs to be kind of lifted up over here. But I basically made sure it was level with my level box here, so it don't pull up on one side, you know. It's actually a fairly simple repair. Just takes a little bit of time, you know. I mean, ideally you want it level, but like I said, it shrinks when it's curing a little bit. It'll pit. You know, you can actually hit it with a little bit of heat, get any air bubbles out if you got air bubbles. And what I do is I just sand it. I just sand it right with the tape right here first, you know. I'll hit it with my block with the tape on there. And then once the tape starts getting thin, I'll pull the tape and do the area, you know. Right, so it's been about 2 or 3 hours. I'm just kind of checking it. I actually took my blowtorch after I laid it and just kind of hit it, make sure there wasn't no air bubbles in it. I was doing some sanding, so you may see some surface. Yeah, some dust on there. Just making sure it wasn't shrinking. All of them look like it's the same height or higher than my tape, you know. So that looks good. Alright, so it's the next day, and I don't think I'll need to add any more epoxy. I think that's good. About to start sanding. Just kind of knocking the high spots off, flattening it out. Okay. Alright, so I've been sanding on it for about 10 minutes here. I could still feel some raised spots, so I know I have more to go. Alright, so I pulled the tape off. Okay, it's actually looking pretty good. It's still a little high. It's basically the tape thickness high. Okay, so we need to knock that down. Some of it's pretty close, like right here, it's pretty close. So I'm gonna continue on with my 80 grit rolled up, so I can kind of keep my sanding consolidated, because you don't want to really sand a low spot into the hull, so you want to consolidate the sanding on these repair areas. I actually like using a little piece of G10 with a piece of sandpaper glued to it, and I can kind of keep it flat but keep it consolidated at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead and continue working on this till I get it feathered in, you know, and then we'll start finalizing it. So right now I just retaped it, okay, and you know, I'm kind of working on the edges, like right here, you see right here, like this like where I originally taped it, the tape was a little bit larger than my repair area. So right now I'm just trying to kind of get lightly sand this epoxy off that's like sitting flat on the hull, you know, trying not to go down into the bottom of the boat. You see how I just removed that, you know, just going around it, you know, kind of flattening it out, getting the edges so that it meets up to the hull perfectly, you know. Like right here, you can see how that epoxy's sitting on the bottom. It's not down in our feathered repair area, so I'm getting that up, you know. Alright, so once I get all that pretty close, pretty flat, you know, I've been doing it like this, you know, kind of knocking it down as I'm getting those little areas, and we'll pull the tape and then we'll start with the 400, you know. Boom. It'll that 400 will match it up and block it off like I did this side, kind of lightly blueprint it. I don't think I'm going to fill this in this video, you know. I really want to, just putting a video out daily, just time's not allowing me to do a full blueprint in this video, so that'll be another time. Oh, all right, so I got the tape off. I got it close. You could barely feel any raised spots, and it could just be the roughed up epoxy making me think it's a raised spot. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and hit it with some 400. Okay, that's going to take any of the high spots down. I'm going to wet sand it using some water and some dishwashing detergent, you know, to lube it up, okay, so your paper don't stick and scratch. So yeah, oh look at that. Oh, that's looking so good, you guys. Like I said, you could freaking buff this out, man, and really you could buff it out and make it look like it never even happened, which is what we're gonna have to do when I do get around to repairing the hatch, you know. Alright, a little bit of Dawn, okay, that will kind of lube everything up so you're not really scratching. Alright, so let me get this out of the way, a little work area here. Just put a little bit of that water on the hull, don't really take a whole lot, you know. Okay, made me a little sanding board, some old oak flooring, and I just took a stapler, stapled it on there. Pretty simple, nothing fancy. Okay, just gonna sand it in our little area we've been working on. Not really putting any pressure whatsoever, just letting the sandpaper do the work. If you feel it start scratching it, you know, you're going to need to clean it. Feel something scratching, clean it, especially if you're going to try to buff it up, you know. You may actually need to wipe off the paper as well, you know what I'm saying. Put a little bit more water on there and then go back at it. I think I might shorten this board up a little bit. You don't want to make a low spot. This is the bottom of the boat. If it were like the hatch, a little low spot may be okay, but this is the bottom of our boat. And if you have low spots, it will suck the boat down to the water. So you got to make sure you get it flat. You feel me? So I'm not really wanting to do the whole boat with 400 right now. I kind of want to do it with 1,000, lightly blueprint it. It might take a little longer, but you won't mess up and go down into the fabric if you use a really high grit sandpaper and scratch the bottom. You know, I don't really want to scratch it up. I am. I'm gonna go cut this down a little bit. Like we're gonna hit the bottom of this with 1,000 grit, but if you were trying to do this for and buff it out, you know, you'd want to work up from like 400, 1,000, get you some 6,000, 8,000 sandpaper. This is the bottom of this boat, and we really don't want to make a low spot. That's why I consolidated all my sanding, you know. Don't want to make a low spot. So very minimal with these higher grit papers. Well, lower grit paper. It's a 400, but it'll take material off quick, fast, and in a hurry. So I got her all cleaned up, okay. Pretty much done with the bottom for right now. All right, I did end up trying to get some of that low spot out. I got a lot of it out, and I'm actually pretty happy with it. You know, I don't think I need to fill it with any epoxy. I've been working on it here. All right, I got my repair areas. I mean, they are flat. Yes, sir. Turned out good, man. Turned out freaking good. See if I can get that light to reflect off of it. I mean, it's a flat bottom, you know. Worked on the keel a little bit more. Got one little low spot right there. I could probably sand it out. That right there is driving me crazy, but it's not cracked. It's just like a delamination under the epoxy on top of the fabric, you know. And these two, I'm gonna leave them. Final answer, I'm just gonna leave them. Done enough work to it for right now. I'm actually, speaking of work, I've actually got these arsons tore apart. I got the push-pull steering rack. That's freaking tight, man. Check it out. Little ball joint there, captured ball. It looks like a hydraulic steering, you know. It's freaking awesome. I made these this will be the next video with the boat. I made these little backers for my push-pull steering sheath to sit in, you know, so it don't move. I can like actually epoxy it in there and it's not going to go nowhere, you know. Oh man, looking good, baby, looking good. You could see it, but it's not as noticeable as the cracks. All right, so we'll see you guys next time. Got the motors coming, got one ESC coming, I got the props coming, the servo, everything except for one ESC and the batteries. So man, I'm excited to get this thing on the water. One of my viewers actually hooked me up, sent me some money on PayPal. I'm not sure if he wants me to tell his name, but thank you. That helped me get the ESC and the props. Yeah, that was like, yeah, that helped me out a lot. Got me out the doghouse with the purchasing police, aka my wife. Hey. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna go get in the doghouse.